I'm Josh Snyder, and you're watching Thoughtful Discussions, and I'm here with
Dave O'Brien, and I am an artist from Pittsburgh, specializing in murals, private commissions, just anything I can paint on.
Cool. And you've done some live events as well, right?
So yeah, live paintings. I've
Yep.
live painted a car.
Yeah.
Doing a live event this Saturday.
Okay.
Just correct me, it's Saturday, not Sunday. So.
Right on. And so what has been the funnest project you've worked on yet?
So everyone always asks me about this,
Yeah.
whether it's like working on a 16-foot skateboard for Red Bull and have fun, do good. But I think the one that sticks out is the Alfa Romeo art car, just because it's not every day you get to paint on a luxury Italian car. And that's something that's nerve-wracking at first, but once you start, you just may as well follow through.
Right, absolutely. That's crazy. How much does that car cost? I'm just curious. You know?
The price range, I believe they just sold it just last week, so I think it was around 40 to 50.
Okay.
I didn't get all the details. I'm not that good with that stuff.
Right. No, that's all right. It's a nice car.
It's done.
Right. And if someone wants to see your work, where do they go to check that out?
So you can go to daveobryanart.com.
Okay.
Mainly everything's on Instagram, so I update that like every single week.
Cool.
And I try to post as much content as I can.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
And then Facebook too. That's Dave O'Brien Art.
Right on. How did you get started? What was the reason you were like, I'm going to do this right now?
So
and when was it?
I never went to school for art.
Okay.
And I was a teacher. I played football. So people are very surprised right now that I can even paint.
Yeah.
But I started 2 years ago.
Okay.
Just for Christmas presents, when my grandma, she actually was a former artist, and she had all these extra oil paints.
Yeah.
And she said, well, why don't I just give these all to you, and you teach yourself how to paint, give them out for Christmas presents. And that's what I did. I gave them to my brother, my mom, my dad. And whenever they received their presents, they were just so surprised that they were something that I created.
Yeah.
I just did it just to make them happy. It was something that's more heartfelt than just buying them like a TV or buying them just like a gift card.
Right. You have enough stuff.
And after I did that for them, they just said, well, you should continue to paint. And I was a teacher at the time, just a permanent sub. So I did a painting for the Pittsburgh St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Okay.
And we put it on a T-shirt, and then that sold. And then I got rights off of it too as well. So word spread quickly about that stuff, and that's whenever I realized I should maybe take being an artist serious.
Yeah.
And that's whenever people just began to ask for private commissions.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at right now.
Gotcha.
That's just like a little Spark Notes version.
What does taking art serious mean to you?
I think it means considering yourself as a business rather than just picking up a paintbrush and just creating any kind of content ever. So it's you're thinking about your business expenses and going to the art store and doing your own taxes and trying to find the best deals for yourself and laying out like an annual plan for yourself. So what am I going to make in the next quarter? And what's my funnel looking like for the next year of how many murals am I going to complete?
Right.
You're taking yourself more serious as a businessman rather than just the artist who just trying to survive and feed themselves off of commissions.
Right. And now you have a full-time job, so you don't have to depend on the art to support yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everything, but you still have to, those are your 2 days off a week, and you work more than 40 hours. Right. So you earn that time. You need to do something for yourself, and you choose to do art with a lot of that. How do you keep yourself from burning out?
Honestly, because I'm in sales and I'm in outside sales.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm driving to these next meetings, it's that's your time to brainstorm.
Okay.
And that's where the majority of your work as an artist is whenever you're just kind of daydreaming about, what should I paint on this Alfa Romeo car? And that's where your best thoughts and plans come from, or whenever you're going for a run. I trained for the marathon, and a lot of good ideas came from that.
Nice.
So anytime I can have to myself, I'm trying to brainstorm some things, and it only takes about 2 hours, 3 hours to actually complete a project.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So if you've never seen any of the work that Dave has done, you'd be surprised to know that he hasn't been working at this all of his life. I was surprised. I still don't believe it. I'm like, nah, there's no way. The detail, the perspective, the line work, everything about it it comes from someone that has been practicing at it forever. And to be your age and to just pick up a brush and do it, that's a gift. Like I don't say that to a lot of people, but that's serious.
No,
that's a
you.
gift.
Appreciate
it. Dude, I didn't give it to you.
I was gonna say, well, I came in here 2 years ago and I got prints from you, and that's whenever it's like I needed some kind of guidance from you, from family members, from friends, and what to do. And I'd ask you guys all the time, like, what should I do with this? And like, you as a business owner, I admire that. And that's because that's what I want to be down the road.
Right.
And that's, I don't know. I mean, it's just something I'm trying to learn from you guys a little bit and take it step by step.
I appreciate that. So I've talked about this on the podcast before, where if someone comes in and they are, interested in kind of growing themselves and they want to, they're willing to listen and take some advice and go, kind of, they have a little bit of fire in their belly, if you might say, that I do what I can and try to. I've had a handful of mentors that without them, there's no way I'd be doing what I'm doing, and I feel like it is an absolute obligation that when I have someone like you that has come to me and said, "Hey, what's your opinion? What should I do?" I absolutely have, I can't not try to help that.
Exactly.
So. From your perspective, so that was 2 years ago, and you've been doing it. And this has nothing to do with tooting my own horn or anything like that. What did I tell you, and how did you act on that?
And exactly what you're talking about right now.
No,
I remember this specifically. It was my first live painting in Belvedere's for the PBR event.
Yep.
I remember we were there. We were drinking PBRs together.
Yeah.
And I'm live painting. And I'm like 5 or 6 PBRs deep at this point. And I'm like, Josh, what do I do with this steel worker next? And he said, I think you should add some kind of USS steel on it.
Right.
And that's whenever I added it to the helmet. And as soon as I did that, there was some guy in the back that said, let me buy that.
Yeah.
And that was one of my first pieces I ever sold.
Nice.
So I think after that, I learned some valuable lessons from you and other people is you don't really, you have to love your supporters, but you have to love your critics much more because they're going to be the people that make you better, more successful.
Absolutely.
And from those live events, that's why I try to become as interactive as possible and tell the crowd or tell people, what do you think it needs? Because those people are now part of your painting and your creativity.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything business-wise as well, like that we've kind of gone over that kind of anything that's kind of clicked for you, and it doesn't have to be just for me. I'm just.
I mean, I just started posting all of my stuff on social media 2 years ago.
Okay.
And that's how I just got a lot of people to request and go into the direct messages and just say, Dave, can you paint this dog for me? And I said, absolutely. I'll do it for you. I'll just do anything to build my portfolio up.
Yeah.
And it's really taken off from there. But as far as the business aspect goes, I was actually a teacher before all of this.
Right.
And whenever painting became more lucrative than teaching, I looked at the spreadsheet, did my taxes, and I was like, wow, I made more money from doing this, and from something I love doing and I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Why don't I know how to paint. I can teach myself how to paint, but how do you do sales? And how do you work with business to business? So that's whenever I decided to change my career and learn sales from a good company that teaches the sales process.
Wow.
And, I've taken that on and have had a lot of success with it.
Okay.
But it's night and day from whenever you're coming from a teaching background to working with small companies to large corporations.
Right.
And that's been helping my art out a lot because lately it's been all working with businesses rather than friends and family members.
Right. Now, you said something there, and that's huge. So you went, and I completely get what you did, but what made you, how did you evaluate yourself to realize that I need to change something and I'm going to do this so that I could develop these business skills?
I went to a live painting event and I sat behind the booth and just had all of my artwork out on the table, had prints that said get 2 for $20. And I had a painting, buy 1 for $100. And I just had a price tag on everything.
Yeah. And
then I watched other people, and it was Muldoon who gave me the advice. I like Muldoon a lot.
Yeah.
Cool cat.
Absolutely. He's
making some crazy artwork lately. Shout out to him, seriously.
Absolutely. I had him on. He was probably one of our first few episodes, and he said put something on Instagram every day. Like his advice was put something on Instagram every day, and people just shoot in your DMs, even if it's not like just show pieces of it, show it in progress, show something so that I mean, even if you make your art on the weekends, take shots every few minutes so that you can have those progress shots, and you show the end by the weekend. Like his advice was just stay active and show people that you're tearing it up, and then when people see that, that's when, and you're doing it. You're doing the exact same thing, and he's a beast. His artwork is. It's on the level. It's definitely on the level.
You can't replicate something like that. Yeah, that's what I like about his work. But moving on, what I learned from him is, I'm sitting back in my booth. I'm not making any sales at all. Meanwhile, people are going up to the live painters and they're interacting with them and buying their paintings or their prints.
Right.
I thought I need to change this up. The way how I'm actually getting my artwork out there and actually making money from this is interact with people rather than sitting behind a booth and being a lemonade stand, I guess.
Absolutely.
That's the way I felt.
Absolutely.
And never again. I never sat behind a booth after that and tried to sell prints and paintings with a price tag on it. And that's the biggest thing I've learned is just trying to work with people and see what's in it for them rather than what's in it for me as an artist. It's all mental after that.
Right.
I think a lot of artists in the city, and this is including myself way in the past, is you think what's in it for me, but they're never asking themselves what's in it for the actual client.
Right.
So you have to work with everyone about that.
So other than Muldoon, has there been anyone else that's influenced you? You got your grandma.
Yep.
And we made a booklet for her, like last year, right?
For Christmas. She loved it.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Awesome. So who else has been an influence that you? I mean, obviously you've done some of the famous like Pittsburgh faces and stuff like that. What do they mean to you as kind of some of the forefathers of Pittsburgh, and like how do you enjoy that, and what's been some of your influence there?
So I admire just all the innovators and all of the I guess the ringleaders of Pittsburgh, just because if you like study the history of Pittsburgh, you see it really started from nothing.
Right.
And I like to see people just grow from there. And I think it's cool as an artist. That's what you can be too. Just anyone actually, other than an artist, any profession.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just an inspiration for me, is to see people grow over the course of time. And that's a cool thing about this Instagram stuff now, is you can see people grow.
Absolutely.
Go back 2 years ago on someone's artwork or whatever they're doing, and you see, wow, they've come a long way in 2 years.
Absolutely.
And that's something that's influential for me. But other than like the Pittsburgh characters, I'd say, my dad, he's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He started.
What type of business?
So he does PR.
Okay.
He does public relations.
Yep.
And I admire his work ethic, because that guy doesn't stop.
Yep.
And other than the family members, there's always people like Casey Neistat. I've told you about this. He's a YouTube vlogger, but his whole mindset on creativity has changed my own mindset as well, just watching his stuff.
What are some of his key points?
His key points is just being different. Honestly, don't fit in with the crowd. Don't go with the flow. And just set yourself apart from the crowd by doing something no one's ever done before.
Gotcha. Where could I find him? Just curious.
So just Casey Neistat. Yeah, he's like the YouTube vlogger.
Cool. We just got to give him a shout out. We took a little piece from him, so we got to give something back.
We'll go viral because he's like the biggest hit on YouTube.
Nice. We'll put him in the hashtags. So you're doing everything you're doing now, and you're at this point. You've done what is it? A few dozen murals for the Beauty Academy.
Yeah.
You've done. You've been to Brooklyn.
Going back again.
You're going back again. When are you doing that?
Next month.
Okay.
I have 2 murals up there.
Cool.
And those are with 2 different parties. Okay. So 501c Streets is a connection I made through Ben Petchel.
Nice.
Who I know you interviewed on the show as well.
Yeah,
but
he was my first.
Ben's been a huge help for my progress too. But he connected me with 501c Streets, and then 501c Streets connected me with another group up there.
Nice.
So now it's like you're working with multiple people, and
cool.
It's cool to branch around up there, because it's something I talked to you about a year ago.
Yeah.
And you said if you want to become an artist in Pittsburgh and become well known, you have to branch out. You can't just stay here in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And learn from those failures there too. And it's been an awesome ride, and I can't wait to go back next month.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was something that I remember like the week, or it might have even been days before, talking to you about that. I was talking to Camo about that, and we were talking, and it's just like, you can't just stay in. If you want to be an artist and you want to do more, you gotta branch outside of Pittsburgh. So I'm really glad that you took that advice and you did it, and that it's been a successful piece of what you're doing. Tell me, like, what's the subject? Like, what are those going to be? Like that last one was like a jazz type thing, right?
So there's actually a story on why I did those up there.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person, I don't like to wait for any kind of like opportunity to come to me.
Right.
I'd rather just make the most out of it myself. So
cool.
I actually went to the Arts Council.
Yeah.
When was this? Back in September. And, you know, I did my research, found the director's name and everything. I just took the elevator upstairs to like the head office, and I said, I need to speak to this person, have him come out here right now, and I need to speak to him about an idea.
Sounds like a Macklemore song.
And what happened is I brought her out, and I told her, I said, I'm Dave O'Brien. I'm an artist. I have an idea in the Hazelwood area where it's covered in graffiti. Here's my business card, and let's set up a meeting about it later on and talk about how we can better this community.
Yeah.
Well, the answer I got from them was, well, you can just apply online, just register, and you just have to wait because it's rare that we have these kind of projects come up, and we have to reach out to dozens of artists to apply for this. Right. And I thought, well, I don't want to wait. And that's whenever Ben contacted 501c Streets up in New York and said, let Dave do something like this up in New York. And it's cool how you want to do something for your own city,
right?
But another city grabs onto it and says, we'll take you instead. And so it's a jazz mural up in Brooklyn. Yep. And it captures, two famous jazz artists, Adeline Louise Hall and drawing a blank on the other one right now. Can't believe I'm doing that. And I did a mural on it.
We'll put a link in.
Put a link on. But it's up in Brooklyn in Bed-Stuy. And that was just a cool experiment because it took me 24 hours just to paint it. And it's a 20 by 30 foot wall.
Yeah.
And you're talking with people the entire time. People are bringing you food and drinks.
Yep.
And then people are asking you to stay at their house and go to a party later. And it's like, geez, I can stay up here in Brooklyn all I want. And nice. After doing that project, then I was invited again to come back up to Jersey City to do a separate mural. And that was more of a New York City skyline for a luxury apartment up there going through renovations.
Nice.
So we had success with that. And Noah from 501c Streets is having me come back for more.
Awesome.
Those two projects. The one's going to be with a Hyatt hotel, and I can't really talk about what's going to be on it yet because it's bigger than the other ones.
Okay.
And then the other one's going to be a bridge mural inside another hotel.
Nice.
So
nice.
And then we'll probably do a lot more after that. But it can only take one mural at a time. It takes time to get the renderings done and get the approval.
Yeah.
Nothing happens overnight.
So what are some goals that you have for yourself for, either the next 6 months, year, 5 years? Like where do you want to see this going?
So in the next 6 months, I'm looking to just finish all of my commissions that I have right now lined up, and that will take a full 6 months because, as you just mentioned before, it takes time for me. I only have two or three nights out of the week I can get these done.
Yep.
So I have about like 15 or 16 more just private commissions with canvases to do, and then the murals. But after those 6 months, I'm going to do my own thing and do my own kind of style and work on that because right now I've been all over the place doing cats, dogs, flowers, skylines, that kind of thing. And it's something that I think every artist struggles with is trying to find their style that's recognizable, and that's something I want to work on in about 6 months.
I mean, I think you definitely have a recognizable style. I can't think of too many people that started with oil. And then you go from oil and you're good with a can too, right?
I just started that about the first time I used a can was on the art car, and they don't know that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like I literally just like took the spray paint can and just like did stripes on it, and I thought, okay, this is how you use it on an Italian luxury car.
That was your first streak, and you're like,
literally.
Okay, I just did this,
and
I guess I did okay. All right. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Willing to take any kind of risk.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I mean, you could always, you're a painter. You can cover it up if you want to, right? Okay. You've got some guts there.
Yeah.
I like that. So that's your 6 months, and what would you say overall? I mean, are you looking to make this into a full-time thing?
Absolutely. I mean, right now, obviously you have the sales job to,
right.
It's a great safety net to have.
Of course.
But there's times like where you get so many requests in 1 week.
Yep.
And it's like, what am I doing right now with the sales job and then the artwork, because the artwork's something I just love.
Right.
And I want to develop more than being a painter and a muralist.
Yeah.
Hopefully someday I get, curated for events to make it technology based, make sculptures. I don't want to just be murals and painting. I think that's the first step in being an artist, but I want this to grow to help other businesses and drive foot traffic for any city, really, to drive tourism or anything like that, because that's the way I'm looking at it.
Gotcha.
Not just about me, but about how can the city benefit, how can you as a business owner, anything like that, because that's where you see a lot of artists just making it nowadays. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been doing this for 2 years now, and you're getting to a level where you're doing it consistently. And I mean, there's a lot of people that work up to that. There's a lot of people that try not as hard, people that try harder, that are maybe not at the level you're at right now. What advice could you give, like that? Or what's one thing that you've done that you think has set you apart to why it's propelled you? Do you think it's just the matter of fact attitude, doing the Instagram and putting yourself out there?
Instagram helps out a lot.
Yeah.
But something I mentioned to you earlier is just accepting criticism.
Yeah.
I see so many artists complain on Facebook or social media about why don't people like my artwork, or why don't people buy, why don't you buy this artwork from me and like let me eat dinner or something like that.
Yeah.
They just make themselves desperate.
Yeah.
And I think you have to accept that criticism and say, yeah, you're right. My artwork sucks. Let me make it better.
Right.
Maybe it doesn't suck, but maybe you can take a lot of advice from a lot of other people and grow from it. Because that's not just being an artist, that's being any profession.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I played football, and that was one of the best lessons I heard from my football coaches is like, whenever we're yelling at you, it's constructive criticism.
Right.
And if you can't take that, you're not going to be any better the next day.
Absolutely. Because they're on the outside looking in, and they're trying to, they've been there before. They were running they did that run.
Yeah.
They're trying to, if they were there again, seeing what you're seeing, let me push you a step further. Yeah.
I remember my coach back in the day, like my dad would say, so how did your practice go? Or how did that game go? I thought, coach didn't yell at me today. He goes, that's not good.
Yeah.
Because it's showing he's given up on you. He doesn't care. And I think if you take that into the art scene, and your profession, then you're going to see a lot of growth and success from it.
Nice.
Yeah, honestly, for any artist, just to, like, whenever I picked up the oil, like you said, oil's not easy. It's actually the hardest medium to paint with.
Absolutely.
But it's something I just, watched Bob Ross videos and thought, geez, if Bob Ross can do it, I can do it too. And I hate doing something and not being good at it, so why not continue to get better and learn from failure? And if every artist takes that advice and just fails, that's the best thing you can do is just fail. And eventually you'll become, I won't say successful, but you'll find small little successes with each failure that you have. Yeah.
I love that.
Is that cliche or?
No, no. That was a hit right there. I love that. That's pretty good. So, we already got your links and everything. So I'm just gonna kind of wrap it up.
Yeah.
Unless you have anything else that you kind of want to get out there.
Trying to think, we covered a lot.
I know. We'll have you back on again.
Anything else? Cover the art car. 2 weeks or it's next month in New York.
Yeah.
And then I have other murals lined up, and that's all same topic.
Okay.
Other than that, that's about it.
So you have any more work in Pittsburgh that you're planning to do?
I have a school where I'll be doing a mural.
Okay.
One downtown.
Yep.
And trying to think. I know I have 9 lined up, but it's just trying to wrap my brain around it right now and trying to get the renderings done before I complete it.
Gotcha.
That's where 95% of the work is putting the rendering in and getting it approved. And once you get that approved, it's all downhill from there. It's so easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for being on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and comment to the video. And you've been watching Thoughtful Discussions. I'm Josh Snyder. And
Dave O'Brien.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.